defense in the political corruption trial continues to cross-examine a former Hickson state rep today.
Prosecutors asked her questions about her involvement in the former Speaker of the House, Glenn Cassada's business. And they examined text messages between her and Cassada's aide, Cade Cawthron.
Cassada and Cawthron are accused of running a company called Phoenix Solutions and hiding their involvement while taking payments from the state. Smith has already pleaded guilty to federal wire fraud charges and is testifying for the prosecution in hopes of getting a more lenient sentence.
News Channel 9's Sarah Hauer has more on what the defense asked Smith today during cross-examination.
We did steal from the state of Tennessee. Those words during cross-examination of former Hickson Representative Robin Smith. This is Smith walking into court so defense attorneys could continue their cross-examination at the federal courthouse in Nashville. That statement came as part of her testimony as cooperating witness in the trial of former Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassada and his aide Cade Cawthron. Smith testified that the three were behind the company Phoenix Solutions, providing mail services to politicians, but they hid their involvement. The defense emphasized that the business was legitimate, asking Smith, quote, "As far as you're aware, were you creating a good product?" She replied, "As far as I'm aware." When asked how she got clients, Smith told jurors, quote, "Most of us try to patronize our friends." Testimony revealed that several other lawmakers from our area, including Esther Helton Hayes, Dan Howell, and Patsy Hazelwood, were all clients. She says that on paper, everything looked legitimate, but behind the scenes, she used her influence to push things forward, saying, "I did a great job on paper, but in reality, I used my role to pressure the state employee who paid out for the projects." She also recalled the day federal agents showed up at her home in January of 2021. At the time, her attorney released a statement claiming Smith had done nothing wrong. But in court, she testified, "I was very aware we lied and covered up Glenn Cassada's and Cade Cawthron's identities. I had told myself the lies so much, I believed them." In Nashville, Sarah Hauer, News Channel 9.
Current Tennessee House Speaker Cameron Sexton is also expected to testify during this trial. Former state rep from Hickson under cross-examination today, testifying she knew what she was doing was stealing from the people of Tennessee.
Robin Smith back on the stand today. She has already pleaded guilty to wire fraud in connection to this case. Former House Speaker Glenn Cassada and his aide, Cade Cawthron, face several federal charges, including theft and bribery, after authorities say they created, used, and failed to disclose they were behind the mailer company Phoenix Solutions. Smith testifying on the stands that she used her position as chairperson to pressure state employees to make payments.
Smith cried on the stand yesterday and said she asked for forgiveness from her church and God before heading to court. Smith testified that they concealed Cassada and Cawthron's involvement with Phoenix Solutions because lawmakers would not use the company if they knew the pair was involved.
As News Channel 9's Sarah Hauer explains from Nashville, the defense's questioning centered around the fact the business did what it was paid to do.
"I'm not asking for leniency. I'm asking for forgiveness from my God and a clear conscience." That's what former Hickson Representative Robin Smith told jurors as attorneys cross-examined her in the federal trial of former Tennessee House Speaker Glenn Cassada and his ex-aide Cade Cawthron. This is Smith walking into court as a cooperating witness. In court, she says, "I want to be in good standing with the Department of Justice. I absolutely do want a lighter sentence." She testified that she, Cassada, and Cawthron operated Phoenix Solutions, a political mailer company, while hiding their identities. While showing examples of those mailers to the jury, the defense pointed out it was a legitimate business. "As far as you're aware, were you creating a good product?" Smith responded, "As far as I'm aware." She admitted using her influence to push projects through. "I did a great job on paper, but in reality, I used my role to pressure state employees who had to approve payments." But the most dramatic moment came from when the defense asked Smith, "Tell me about those conversations you've had with your attorney." As laughter broke out in the courtroom, the judge stepped in, reminding her of attorney-client privilege. But Smith kept going, saying, "He encouraged me, told me you're doing a great job." She said, "I want to take full responsibility for my part. It doesn't matter what the press or public says." Smith has repeated she is no legal expert. When pressed further on her intent, she was clear. "We defrauded the state of Tennessee." Smith has been repeating the fact that she, Cawthron, and Cassada hid their identities. The defense responded, "You keep telling the same facts over and over. You are desperate. A lot is on the line for you today, isn't it?" Smith responded, "A lot is on the line for a lot of people." In Nashville, Sarah Howard, News Channel 9.
Again, Smith already pleaded guilty to wire fraud charges in this case. Her sentencing is set for some time after this trial ends.